Rich people know that they need to make their money work for them. They need to earn money somehow, get the money coming in, but then they don't just save it. The somewhat wealthy do that. If you maybe have a little bit in savings, like I was able to save $100,000 just by saving. And so I paid myself first and I said, all right, I got $1,000. I'm going to keep 900 of it or 500 or whatever. I get $20. I'm going to keep 10 of it and put it away. That's great. But my money's not working for me. My money's being lazy. It gets to just sit there. The wealthiest people know that whenever they get money, they then take the money and put it into income producing assets. You're the greatest asset. So if you get money coming in and you're not making a ton of money, the best place to put your money is in you. Invest in your knowledge, your skills, your education, so that you can be more valuable and make more money. For example, if you want to make more money and maybe you want to help people and you want to be a doctor or something of that nature, if you go pay to become a doctor, you pay to be educated, it's going to cost you money up front, but eventually you will make more money. And depending on your specialty, like if you become an anesthesiologist, you can make $400,000, $500,000 a year and you can pay back your student loans eventually. But if you never invested in yourself, you might have to stay working at Starbucks forever. There's nothing wrong with working at Starbucks, but if that's not what you want to do, and if you want to have more money, or if you want to do something else, you have to know that you need to invest in the knowledge and the skills to get there. It doesn't have to be with a job like being a doctor. Maybe you don't want to be a doctor, but even if you wanted to be a teacher, you can invest in college and then education to become a teacher, and you'll make more money than you would if you were working as a barista, right? But it takes that investment up front. And the other thing is after you invest in yourself, because a lot of people get that wrong. We hear you need to invest in the stock market, which is really great. Rich people do that. Rich people invest in stocks. If you've ever seen Rich Dad, Poor Dad's cash flow quadrant, the wealthiest people take advantage of the investor side and the ownership side. Like Patrick Mahomes makes millions of dollars as an employee. You can get wealthy as an employee, and you do need to figure out how to get some money in, whether you do have a business or you work for someone else. But then you take the money and you invest in something like the stock market. You invest in properties. You invest in assets. I can put a list here of the assets. But remember, before you even do that, you have to have some type of money coming in. And obviously, if you're a barista, if you're making $15 an hour, if you can invest in your own skills, knowledge, or a business that you're starting that will eventually make you more money, that's going to have greater ROI, a greater return on investment. And then maybe now you're making $100,000 a year. You have more money to put into other things like a business that you want to do, or in the stock market, you make $100K a year, you put $500 in the stock market every single month, and in 30 years, you have $1 million. So please get your money working. If you did not invest your money, say you saved $500 a month, look at the screen. $500 a month for 30 years, that's a long time. But what about if you invested it and you earned an annual return of 10% over time, which is on average for the S&P 500, look at how much you have. What a difference. And watch if you go for 40 years, the difference, 40 years, you just saved it. And honestly, it goes down. You lose money. So you would have even less money than this because inflation's 2 to 3% every year. But look at how much you would have if you had invested it. And look at 50 years. Nuts. $500 a month. And think, if you can earn even more money and you have $5,000 a month to invest, or even some of the wealthiest people, $10,000 a month to invest, look at how you can have hundreds of millions of dollars. Invest in yourself, your knowledge, your skills. You're the number one asset to invest in. A rich person knows they're the number one asset. But then take that money and make it grow. Don't let your money be lazy. Don't make it be hardworking by going and buying all the things you want. You can buy things you want, but first make sure you're investing in your future and in growing your net worth and your income. I hope this helps. If you want to learn more about mastering your money and your life, feel free to check out my channel or these videos. I'll see you in the next one. You got this. You are the greatest asset. Make your money work and your whole life will change. Cheering for you.